Aloha golfers! Welcome to Golf in the Cosmos. I'm Kevin Robowski, and here we talk all things Mac O'Grady and Morad. This is episode number 26, and I am in Port St. Lucie, Florida. I'm at PGA Village Golf Club on the Wanamaker course, first hole. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. I just finished my practice round on the Ryder course. Tomorrow is the first round of the PGA Winter Series Senior Stroke Play Championship. So preparing for that, everything's going well. I wanted to include a video segment this week for all of you Morad fans, and today is going to be Mac in the classroom. So this video is from a symposium. I'm not sure the location, I'm not sure the date, maybe 2005, that would be my guess. And this would be a very typical scene inside a Morad symposium in the classroom setting. Mac going over people's golf swings one by one on the television monitor, and also going over some anatomical concepts that relate to the golf swing, and also telling some stories, anecdotal stories with different players. And of course, you know, Mac sometimes gets a little critical of players, and you have to remember to take these things with a grain of salt, because there's always two sides to the story, right? And Mac will have a certain perspective, and then the player may have a different perspective, right? And so these things are always have to be taken into consideration when you hear these stories. So one thing though that is very apparent in this video is Mac knows the anatomy, how it applies to the golf swing, better than any golf pro alive. And I can make that assessment very accurately. I think that both Mac, his desire to learn the anatomical terms came first from yoga. The yoga practice, you learn anatomy to improve your practice and your awareness, and they use the anatomical terminology. And also, of course, Mac has been a great proponent of medical science, getting to know physicians, learning their language, wanting to know their language, learning the skeletal system, the muscular system, the joints, and how they would apply not only to the golf swing, but basically in all physical movement. And this is one thing that stands Mac apart and myself apart, is not only do we know the anatomy, but we know the functional aspects of the anatomy. So we're just not memorizing terms like protraction, adduction, and pronation, and plantar flexion, right? These are terminology that apply to the movement of the joints, but how to apply that in movement and doing it, that is something else. And it's not just the golf swing. I think this is where the yoga practice is extremely valuable. The yoga practice, you will have a body awareness second to none, and these terminologies from the anatomical perspective, the anatomical world, will become much more clear as a whole if you can apply it yourself to movement. So these are things that you can study on YouTube through either my channel or other channels. Definitely I would look at some yoga and yoga anatomy. Stu Gerling comes to mind, and David Keel are the best in the business. They know their anatomy in the yoga world. So this video is very impressive. Mac's language, his command is extremely vast in terms of anatomy. And one thing that I wanted to point, a very important point here, is that these aspects of agonistic and antagonistic muscle activation is extremely important to realize, especially when it comes to first tightening the muscles to gain a awareness and a stretch, and then overall loosening the muscles so that you have a certain flow to the swing. And if you look at Mac's swing, especially in '86, the flow was amazing, right? So basically allowing the arms to fold, allowing the wrist to recock. I think later Morad, he definitely went a different direction. But if you look at that 86 video again with Mac in the shorts, it's you want to emulate that tempo. In fact, in today's practice round, I had that video out and I was mimicking Mac's swings when I was doing the practice swings myself, and it really helps. I mean, you can hit it long, straight, perfect balance. It's basically rotation up, cock the wrist, bam! Right? Recock the wrist, fold, overall loose and free arms. If you looked at Jack Nicklaus, you look at his pre-shot routine, you always watch Jack shaking out his arms, right? Always loosening, loosening. You can't start off loosening, because if you do, you'll end up flexing too much. So what you have to first do is stretch, find the anatomical positioning, and then loosen. And that's the journey, my friends. So I'll keep everybody posted. I'll see everybody next in Hawaii, so wish me well. Take care. I love
that tension curve. If you stand here like this, and you pull your hand as hard as you can to your, it take 3 seconds to go from your hand here to fully flex your bicep. Take 3 seconds and press as tight as you can, as hard as you can, going like this. Feel the pressure? It's like you're lifting up a 100-pound weight. You can sit here like this and go without lifting the weights and have the same amount of pressure inside the muscle. What you're doing, you're putting the brakes on the resistance. Pull as hard as you possibly can, as hard as you can. Keep pulling like hard, tighter, tighter. Slower, slower, harder, 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 harder. It's the same thing I lifting the weight. That's called isometric exercise.
That's like gymnastics training.
Pardon?
Gymnastics training.
See? All right.
Well, gymnastics. Isometric.
Yeah. So the thing is, when you have the right amount of the length tension curve of the muscle, you go here like here, going like that, you turn on the proprioception receptors. Much better orientation. Okay? Oh yeah.
When the muscles are full
Not 100%. It's like about a 95% stretch. You know, muscles are stretched and then they're relaxed. When the muscles get too tight, like Sevi. Sevi's got right now with the yips, the Dean Baker Finch, that feeling comes over, one foot's on the accelerator and one foot's on the brake. So you got the wheels spinning, rubber burning, engine firing, but you're not going anywhere. Okay, you got to be able to keep your foot on the accelerator and stay as relaxed as you can, and then swing as fast as you can. Stay as relaxed as you can. You have to stay relaxed. It's the absolute #1 rule. Every time you stand over, even in the little chip shots and going like this, you have to flow, but then you have to have the tension in the muscles.
So the tension in the muscle, but the clarity in the mind, so the mind can be relaxed, but the muscles are stretched. Is that?
Yeah, the muscles are stretched.
Yeah.
Okay, and you got to stay relaxed simultaneously. Okay, muscles really tight, but you got to stay relaxed while you're doing the movements.
Like when you're walking, you're stretching,
Yeah.
but you feel relaxed.
But when you're trying to move this club as fast as you can, then you have to stay relaxed as you can simultaneously. All comes back to work, that work of proprioception. Your body's orientation in space. When you get too tight, like this, bang, the systems, oh, it's terrible, right?
Max,
Sevi, yeah.
you feel your abs tight in your
Everything tight.
You fully braced.
Everything. Which I mentioned. And you got to be tight and then relaxed. It's a really weird deal. It's really.
How do you achieve that?
What?
How do you achieve that?
Practice it. It's a dichotomy. It's like, what do you mean? You got to be as tight as I can, then be as relaxed as I can. Yeah, both ends of the spectrum. So there's times you got to turn the mind on to think, and then you got to turn the mind off because you can't think too much, because you convince yourself you can't do it. There's an old saying that says, I'll talk about this later. It says, the kid says, the veteran guy says, you know why that kid won that tournament now? Because he doesn't know yet that it can't be done. Did you hear that?
He doesn't know he can.
He doesn't know yet that it can't be done. Right? We have a thing that says that you can do it or you can't do it. So apostrophe T rules your whole life because you convince yourself you can't do it. You got all the talent in the whole gosh darn world, right? Grant Wade, 1997. I never had anybody saw anybody go better than Grant Wade. About 1997. Never. I never saw anything. Never. But in 1 year, he gets disqualified, I think, 2-3 times for signing a low scorecard. What? In a year's time. What did I say? What did I say?
Disqualified 3 times in a year's time.
2 or 3 times he gets disqualified, right? And then in 1 year he hit the ball, he hit the wrong ball 2 or 3 times. In 1 year. What? How many times you played the competition over the years? What's your age now? How old?
I'm 42.
40. Okay. How many tournaments have you played your whole life? 200, 400, 600?
Yeah, I played 12 years non-stop.
What? Okay, now, okay. All right. How many times have you hit the wrong ball?
It's a competition now.
Never.
No,
Okay.
it's-
You guys, you ever do it, hit ball? You ever hit the wrong ball in competition? Did you ever do it?
I have.
What?
I have.
Okay. All right. I did it once.
And once.
I did it once, and it was the freakiest. It was on a PGA Tour event. I did it with Fuzzy Zeller and so on. I mean, what a story, right? I did it. I got victimized by it. First of all, it's my fault, right? But the circumstances are so bizarre. 10,000 people, Fuzzy Zeller, George Burns, 10,000 people out there. George Burns and I both hit the wrong ball. And they said, George, this is your ball in the rough in the MCI long driving contest. So, and George, you're leading the tournament. George, you're leading the tournament. That happened. And I'm in the middle of the fairway. I'm in the right side of the fairway now. Okay, that happened. Grant, 3 times, 2-3 times, scorecard and wrong ball. Chip Beck, how about this guy? He did the same stuff. He freaking turned around, hit like 3 wrong balls in 1 year. With Neil Lancaster. Wow. So, you can't get rid of the chaos. Don't try.
Isn't that a bit like your friend Archie walking behind
What?
you? Isn't that a bit like your friend Archie walking on your line? You know?
So one of the things we're going to correct here today is to show you how to get those arms straight. Okay, right? Now see how you can see how the left arm is straight here to dreads. But this keeps going back, up. Here we go now. Okay. So now the arms are going up, and so the rotations now that right foot goes back 4 inches. So it looks like it's about 2 inches in front of it. At least 4 to 6 inches. The right leg straightens out. You got better hip rotation. And you literally have to feel you're going back here like this. That this elbow, you're going to have the space 4 to 5 inches away like this. Now when I went left-handed, to sit here like this, I wanted to go like that. Because that was my right hand to follow through. Right? So line that, get that arm straight, go like that. Oh boy. That was a weird feeling to get that. But you know, you have to do it. Right? Okay, here, now watch this left knee. The left knee's got to lead the parade. The left knee's got to go first, right? And left knee looks like it's kind of just staying here like this, kind of going like that. Okay? This thing's got to go. Let go.
We all also have that
Yeah,
problem.
the left knee's got to go, right? Now, this is a good angle coming down here, coming down, okay? Still negative. Look how far this elbow is trailing here. Okay? Good. Now, look, you got the left arm, the club shaft, now they're P6, that's fine. Look how far that elbow's trailing, right? That elbow's got, it's back over here like this. Okay? Now, if you're going to go CF out to the right, that's okay. If you're trying to go CP, that thing too far back like that, you're going to sit there and start going that way. You see, that's the problem with that. So the CP movement, you got to get the elbow back in front here like this. CF, you can have this trailing here and go inside out like that. That's okay.
And that elbow is an independent move from
That thing, you got to get that, right? Because the body can move, switch, turn, rotate it, it still has to come back. You see. It starts here in front. It moves behind you. It gets behind you for a reason. You know why? That's how you build up momentum. If you keep it out in front of your body here like this, your arms are right here. You can't. Then you're gonna come back this way to try to get on the inside. That's what I'm trying to do. Right? He's got. I said this. I said this 2 years ago. I said maybe a year and a half ago. Now he's got about 10 months. He doesn't get that stuff corrected, and he knows he's got a problem. He doesn't know where's he going. How's he correct it? How do you know? And you know what's bizarre? You hear him say, "Man, I really like where I'm working on. You know, I'm really close. I really got it. You know, That's all he said for the last 15 months. To me, it was the strangest thing. This was really, this year he played TPC, last day, he's 7 shots out of the lead. Him and his caddy get up at 17, he hits a wedge on the green at 17. His caddy goes over and gives him like a high five. Tiger gives him caddy a high five like this, or slapping him. It's like, I'm just going, what was that? What was that? Who are you guys? You're 7 shots out of the lead, you guys are happy, you're sliding to his hand. What is it? We know why. He was just happy to put the ball in the green. He was afraid he was going to knock it in the friggin' 16th fairway. That's it. What else is there? And his caddy goes to get 5 like this and like this. What? Right? If I said that, and all this knuckle, going like this back and forth.
Okay, heard you play it like that.
Okay, right? No, it's just, you can see Nicholas, and they're going, next thing you know, if we go one more step, it's Michael Jackson. Hey, little boys.
Moonwalk.
What?
The moonwalk.
Yeah. I mean, shut up. You go back and watch Nicholas, man. The guy just stood there like this, right? Okay?
Hogan, no expression.
God,
It's neat.
okay. I mean, I'll read you something in there.
It's what?
What?
You were telling me about a friend, Barry's friend, nurse, who took all the photographs of Hogan, and the USGA came for a picture of Hogan for their Hall of Fame, and his wife got to pick a picture, and he picked one that Jules Alexander took at Westchester, where he's 1973, his last ever tournament, so he's done. He came walking onto the green, he seemed smiling, and his wife was asked, "Why did you pick that?" And she said, "It was the only picture I had of him smiling."
Wow.
That's true. This picture is smiling.
Hey, did any of you guys ever read the story about a year ago, Children Golf Digest, how some girl was teaching all the Hogan stuff?
Yeah.
I read
What was her name?
I forgot, I remember because you and I
And,
discussed this before.
and when Ben sent the limousines to pick her up? What?
Yeah.
Okay, right? Don't worry, he was alley cat too.
You know, when I got on tour in 2002, I asked Kurt Byron, you know, one of the Byron brothers, because I knew he worked with Hogan, so I asked him, "Hey, Kurt, you spent time with Mr. Hogan?" I said, "Yeah, he used to help him." I said, "What was he like?"
Tom was a Hogan.
Tom, I'm sorry, Tom. Yeah, the guy who's on tour.
Gotta tell the story correct now, what you said, go ahead.
Yeah,
It's Tom.
Yeah, Tom.
Okay.
Kurt is the one at the golf channel.
Yeah.
Tom, and I asked Tom, "Did you spend a lot of time with Mr. Hogan?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what was he like?" I said, "Well, he could be a mean, drunk man." That was like, I left. He said he could be, I don't know if the guy was in a bad mood or not, or he didn't want to talk. I said he could be a mean, drunk man.
I know it. I have my talks with him. He's 10. Okay? 10, right? The thing is, he saw these guys calm. He saw through everybody's calm. Their fake confidence, right? He wouldn't put up with some malarkey with these guys, right? Tom Byron. In 1989, this guy plays the West Coast like 4 events. He hasn't broke 80 once. Got it? He comes to me at the AT&T, right? Gary McCord in 1989, spent with him all week at AT&T, makes the cut, played very well. Goes down to San Diego, played terrific. Then they played LA Open, played terrific. Goes down, plays in Doral, played very good. Then he wins like next week. And he turns around and says, "I want to thank David Ledbetter for teaching me all this stuff." Ask McCord. Spent 1 month with him. Robert Brent, remember that guy?
Yeah.
Robert Brent, Billy Copeland, 1986. Robert Brent I gave him the term on Sunday. I practiced Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He gets a 4-day update. Gary McCord, all the time. 87, I think it was. Yeah, 87. We go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All day, all whatever. First day, Robert Wren has made $31,000 in 5 years on tour. Okay? Never finished the top 10. Robert Wren goes out first day, shoots 65. Goes out second day, shoots 65. Goes out third day, shoots 63. We've updated them every day, driving range, back and forth, with CBS going to announce him, going over McCord, back and forth, in the car, everything else, right? So I tell Robert the last day, I said, hey, he says, what do I think about, what I think about? All you do is turn around the center, rotate the backswing, transfer your weight, rotate the following, stay in your tilts. That's it. Rotate, transfer your weight, rotate, stay in your tilts. Got it? Right? That's it. Turn, transfer, rotate, stay in your tilt sideways. That's it. Do the tilts. Shift the tilts and go. That's it. Goes out last day, comes to the last way, it's a chip shot, goes up the hole, just misses it, shoots 2,600 bar. Wins by 8. Wins like 400,000. Okay? Alright? Robert, I left a message with him. I told him I'm going to stay in town that night. Give me a call if you're Starwood. Next thing you know, I call his hotel room. He didn't call him. I call his hotel room. Jeff Stewart, he ain't here. Oh, okay. Well, where is he? I don't know. Would you tell him that I called? Okay, fine. Hangs up. That's it, right? Never heard from Robert. I go home. Monday goes by, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a week goes by. I hear from Robert? Yes or no? No. Okay? Another week goes by. I hear from Robert? What? No. I see him at the international. He comes up and he goes, hey, by the way, thanks. That's it. Never help him again? No. He goes, Mac, I've been trying to get a hold. I see him next day. I want to talk to him. He goes, yeah, I tried to call you. I called your house. I've been doing that. Never picked up the phone. He's lying.
You got an answer machine there? You can
Lying. I need 10 stories like that. At least 10. These hands are too far apart from each other. See that space in here like this? Those hands have to get in here closer like this. That looks like one like this.
He has lost the pressure point?
Yeah, you see that the hands is coming, you see the hands aren't close enough together when you're like this. You gotta keep these, you gotta keep this pressure point right here. Kelly called this #1 pressure point. Okay? And you don't have a short thumb, you don't get this part of the palm, you don't get it down by your nail like this. You gotta get this thing up in the top over here. It's almost like, see these two wrists like this? Here like this? Then you move this upward, just this part of the lifeline is supposed to hit this side over here like this. Up on top over here like this, close together this way. Okay? You gotta keep these pressure points like this. Pressure point's not down like that. It's way up on top. Be able to come. So this gets down here like this, it'll turn it like this. Like this. If it's too low, it'll just turn like this. The left hand stays right there. It'll just go like that. You can see the picture. Okay?
Mike, can I ask a question? How do you teach pressure points without causing tension in the forearms?
But you have to keep the pressure.
Yeah.
Eventually the muscle will relax out.
Right.
But you have to keep that in.
Practicing.
Yeah, it's a length tension curve.
Right.
You'll be like this. Eventually the muscle will start to relax
Okay.
while you're holding it.
Right.
It takes a while, right? Watch it. You go walking like this. You go walking, all of a sudden you step on a little crevice, and your ankle goes like that, right? And then what does it do real quick? It rewrites itself. It'll go. Did you ever do that? What? Okay. Those are receptors in the muscles. They're called Golgi. It's the Golgi, named after Camillo Golgi, the Italian guy who won the Nobel Prize in 1888. Okay. Because he figured out that there's this thing, these receptors in all the mammals. It doesn't matter if it's a monkey, certain animals like this, that's universal. And he figured this out. And these receptors, you'll go in, you'll stretch the muscle or ligament almost like 95 to 99% to its maximum. If it gets too much, too quick, too soon, it will go in the opposite direction. It has its own intellect. It knows that if it goes too far, you'll tear the ligaments. You ever do that? Did you ever play basketball or you get on a wet court and it's wet outside, you go to slip and your body rewrites itself, right? And then,
or running.
right then, automatic. The same thing goes on with the muscles. When you're sitting, you're holding like this, the muscles in here, they have to get to finally relax, right? It's an amazing thing how you're coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down like this. And this is why you gotta be stretched out, you gotta be doing the flexibility. Sevi, when he comes to the golf courses for the tournament, instead of doing the flexibility exercise in his room, like this morning, I did the flexibility for 30 minutes, right? Sevi would have the guy, the trainers, the physical therapist, okay, move my leg over. Then I have to move his leg over. He's like, okay, now move my other leg over. Then move the other leg. It's okay, move my right arm over here like this. And they have to pick their arm up and move their arm over here like this. You guys want to do that? He's just there. He doesn't want to do that. It's crazy. You can't do that. You can't do that. So, okay, so you got the left elbow's got to stay straight. Now the basic movement, the weight transfer looked very good there. All right, show you one more time. Here we go. Okay. Now you can see both eyes are on the ball here. When you look at the vision of somebody when they're lining up, you've got to get the eyes on the ball. Now your neck tilt is going to be tilted about 5 degrees to the right of the dress, so your eye line's a little bit inside like this. Okay? Okay? It's got to be, because your hands are going to go up towards the plane. Your eyes will be tilted, eye lines like this. You've got to keep that throughout the swing going like that. Okay? Neck tilt goes like this, and the hands want to go outside. Yeah.
Will that tilt give you more a CF path?
No? Because you're trying to get more circular going here like this, right?
Okay.
Now you can keep it there and go straight inside out that way. But see, when you go to CP, you'll have your eye line here like this. You go to P5, your eye line's here. Then as you come down to P6, look at how this squares up. It squares up, got it? Then it goes like this, bang. Right? If you have it square, you'll come down to this, it'll go that way. Okay? Now it changes the head and everything else. That head's got to stay back. Keep the tilts, then head goes too much like you'll open up too fast like this. You see? Now Johnny Miller knew that. Now Miller, I've talked to Miller about a lot of this. Miller knows all this stuff just like it's intuitive. It's amazing. Miller's the smartest guy I ever talked to.
Yeah,
I've said it before. He's heard me say that. Miller. Yeah.
So you get the eye line like this.
5 degrees,
It will help you turn the backswing.
If your neck goes like this,
It will
go this way.
Yeah.
If you get too much like here, you start going too much like that.
And then when you shift your
Wait, you got to make sure this head stays back here like this.
so you still get this.
Look at the orange book here. Look at Gary Player in these pictures right here. In the gray book, look at the gray book here with Player. Right? Look at gray book down here at P6. Weight left arm, right leg. Y'all see this book here? This is a very good book. Look at Player sitting over here. See the left arm to the right leg like this? Okay. This is going left. Okay. These are some really nice pictures. You guys have in here? This one? Okay. Sit that. Show. Weight transferring left arm here, parallel to the right. The right elbow's too bent there, and it's too much off to the side, right? Right. This wrist is actually going to flatten out that way. Okay. Now, the angle of the shoulder staying downward, the head down is very good. Hips are getting left, you're getting up the pelvis. You see the pelvis release is very good there. Okay. All right. You see how the hips are forward over here like this, and that keeps the knee behind the head of the femur. This is the femur bone. This is going like this. Very good like that. You see some guys sit there like this. That's where Arnold is. So here he's got his pelvis. He's got here. The head is down. Arms parallel to the ground. This is textbook. This is very good. Right knees. You kick him here like this. The right foot's pronated inward. Pelvis forward, and it's getting up. Okay. All right. Very good here, right?
So the pressure point in the hand will help him to hold it.
Yeah, we got to make sure. See, the problem is, that elbow trails too much. They'll trail, get down here, then all of a sudden, because it's so far out, then the speed, the club head, turn left, it'll flip over like this. okay? Or just go like that, that's what it looks like, right? That's why the face is turned up. That's why this elbow's got to get in here. So one of the first things we'll do today is to show how to get that elbow, you know, we get this straight here like this. As this transfers this way, see how this goes like this? See this space here? Some guys go like that, then you got to train to go like this. Okay? Some guys go like this, you got to train to go like that. Right? Okay? And it's an independent move. It's got to get in there, right? I call that putting the clutch in. Put it in gear. It puts it in gear so you can bang, they both go together.
But if you
If
don't
you don't
gear
do it, it's trailing, then you're making the compensation at the bottom. If you're going to play some hooky, that's okay. You're going to go over there and go like that, that's all right.
Yeah, he was hooking the ball there. I remember.
I had the same problem left-handed. I'd go there like this one. I could do this. I could take a 50-yard wedge and from 50 yards out and have a fence 50 yards right at the green and hit it out that left hand with no problem because the elbow. You can go like this and go like that. I could over here like this and go like this. Possibly take 50 yards away. Right.
Well, were you were never trained?
No, I didn't have the training. I didn't have the training.
Yeah, because the only one trained was your right, your left was not trained to do
Didn't
this.
have it.
How long did he take
It
to
took a
train?
while.
Really?
The neck tilts, lined up, you know. First I'd sit up like this, and then to go left hand, I went like this. Okay, and I'm going like that. So then I had to get my neck tilts in here, get everything lined up, go back inside, go like this. Oh, what a fun experience. I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Mac, when you talk about postures yesterday, you know how the cervical, bend.
Lumbars, thoracic, cervical.
So what they're talking nowadays, that they have to be very straight. So that will lock the
No, physical therapist in Europe.
Yeah.
The guy Ian Ray and Ray and all the guys, right?
Yeah.
They're telling the latest theories that physical therapists are, they're giving lectures now, right? Saying that the shoulder blades, you want to sit up here like this, chest forward here like this, and the shoulder blades never change. Like you're standing. Stand right, aim that way, bend forward. Push arm. These are your shoulder blades right here. You stand, probably got attention right here. Arm straight down. Okay? Here's your shoulder blades right here. Okay? Now, raise your shoulders up like this. Okay? He's raising that up to the clavicles. These are called the clavicles. Okay? The collarbones. Right? All right, now, go ahead, bend at the waist. Make sure you don't want to bend. Keep your shoulder blades the exact same position. Bend forward. Okay? Now, they're saying you can't change the shoulder blades. You stand up dressed like this, you got to be able to keep that like that. Well, first of all, put your hands down and straight your arms down. That automatically pulls the shoulder blades away from the spine. Right? So, when the shoulder blades move around, the shoulder blades, you know what they're called? Scapulas. So the scapulas, here's your spinal cord. You sit up at rest, take your grip, stretch it down like this, right? Now, if you got really long, short arms, these really stretching this, this pulls the scapulas away. It's moving around the part of the anatomy called the thorax, right? But set up. All right, now, when you go sit up at a rest, now go to the top of your swing, start going like this. All right, now do more of that, aim the rail here. Now do it again. But what happens is this shoulder blade moves away from the spinal cord, and this shoulder blade moves towards the spinal cord. All right? Okay? This one's moving, stretching away. This one's moving towards it. Okay? Now, those guys over there are saying you can't move your shoulder blades. Well, for you to get your arm back here like this, stretch like this will automatically pull this that way. Got it? They're saying you got to keep your arms in front of your chest like this, so you don't change the angle. It's the dumbest thing you can imagine, right? You know, and these are guys that know the anatomy. They're saying this kind of stuff, right? You gotta stay over here like this, keep your chest forward, bend forward, going just here like this, right? And your chin is up. The problem is your chin goes up, shoulders want to turn horizontal. Chin goes down, your shoulders want to go more this way. They don't know that. Well, they know about these physical therapists. They know about the oculus. They know about the semicircular canals. They know about the vestibular apparatus. They know about the cochlea and this fluid that moves around inside the inner ear. They know all that stuff. They know that language, and they're still making this going like this. You know why? They got nobody policing them. They can say whatever they want. Now they could say that with me. Wait a second, guys. All right, here. Are we going to have a democracy here? Or was this just a lecture how smart you guys are, or can we debate this? And debate it with civility, right? Not to argue. If I don't know something, I'm going to tell you I don't know. And I don't come up with smarty pants, but listen, these scapulas are moving. You sit up like this, You sit up like this, okay, fine. You bend forward, like your hand out or forward, right? And the thing is, you don't get the shoulders up. These things, scapula's got to stay down. I mean, as the, you know what moves this up? Moves the collarbone up because the scapula went up. Back that up, because you move the scapula went up. You go over here like this, pulls it forward. Now, when you go to the top of your swing, you go over here like this. Like here, this is pulling the scapula this direction, but the clavicle's got to stay down. Got it? It's got to stay down. Don't go like this. You see guys go like this in the backswing. That scapula's got to stay down. You're doing that loopy yesterday. That thing's got to stay down. The other thing, your right one, when you go to the top of the swing here like this, you see some guys go like this. That's why this has to be released to move to a straight line with the spinal cord.
Mac,
Yeah.
that's what makes my neck go like that.
But
When you say.
no, some guys just seem to go like this.
That's what makes, like, that's
Go
what,
up,
yeah, that's what makes my neck kind of go like that sometimes at the top. It's like catch over the shoulder.
If this goes up like this, now if you look at Sevi, Sevi will go like this, watch this. Sevi line is Sevi like this. Because Sevi's hands went down 4 to 5. Sevi went like this. That's why Sevi had the biggest gap you ever seen between this and the left shoulder one.
You're going down.
Yeah, like that. So it kept the scapula really down, low like this. Okay? Really important, really important. So the thing is, the point is that the scapulas are changing. They're on top of the swing. This is moving around away from the spinal cord. This one's moving towards the spinal cord. But you don't go up like this. It's got to stay down, and you got to release it like this. Then when you come down the downswing, P4 to P5, like this has to start coming back out. It's got to come back down here like this. The left one kind of stay there, P4 to P5. You come down to P6 like this, right? And then the left one stays there all the way as you come over like this. You don't sit there and start releasing the left one. The left one almost, you try to almost keep it like this, coming all the way down here like this.
So you keep the pressure
You
here.
got it. See? You know? You don't be going like this.
No, you lose it.
No, don't do that.
There you go, you go
You
here.
hurt yourself. This says pressure must stay down here like this with the head back like that. So that was the hardest thing for me to do left-handed. Sit here like this. You get this like here, and then you keep that down and get that kind of stretch. And get this like this left-handed. So I had to go in and learn all. I've mapped out every anatomical part of the body. I have it. So what every joint is doing, whatever the alignment and the math of even the scapulas, every part. You just followed it down. That's all I did.
So it's pretty much opening, close, and it's still.
Yeah, knowing where it, that's why you see, I did a couple times yesterday. A couple of the guys went to the top here like this, like here, and I tried to push the shoulder down like this. Keep that like that. This is straight without ever going this way. This has to be released. This has to be released like that.
Kind of opening
Like this. That's why I say this. You set up here like this. You go to the top, get out like this. You open here, you go like that, so the thoracic spine shifts. You get it?
And
And then you gotta come back like that. So it shifts like that, so it's changing. You got it? You gotta do it by not making your head go like this. It's still gonna stay that way. And then, wait, it's one thing to do it right and now go do it left-handed. Go, you wanna know what you're doing, just go to flip it over the other way, right? Then to get all the alignments, watch. Left-handed go like this, right-handed sit up like this. Then I went left-handed and went like this. That's okay. I gotta get my eye line like this. That's okay, good, perfect. Line this up. Now the moment I took the club back, I went like this. We're right back to the right-handed. Then I had to train my, you don't know how many shots I've missed left-handed. Yeah.
Well, your muscles on your neck, or hitting so many golf balls will be stronger, stretching, and this one contract.
The muscles in the neck, they're called sternocleidomastoid mastoid. Okay? All right, those muscles. Okay? You get those neck tilts in here like this. You're coming down here. This thing, this is stretched on this side like this here. Relaxed on the inside, it's stretched.
Mike, what was the best book or reference book you've ever read on anatomy?
Say it again?
The best book
Oh,
on anatomy. Just
you know what? It's just any book's okay.
Really?
You just have to, I'll write out some of the terminologies, right?
Yeah.
Especially the wrist.
Right.
You can get the Gray's Anatomy. You just have to just get the books, just start reading. Every book is okay. Every book I've got will teach you something. Every author will teach you something. questions of what you do. You know, I've got in my house, I probably have my library, I've got 800 books. I buy.
Your knowledge of anatomy is
What?
Your knowledge of anatomy is
No,
your knowledge is
No, mine's just basic stuff. Now, you know what? I have all the girls. Archie's been to at least half a dozen schools. The doctors, we have all the different. We have a talk group. We meet 4 or 5 times a year. We bring in. I attend the neurological convention with the guys. We go in there and talk, and then when they go into lectures for the morning, then boom, and we go for like 9 hours. We go like sometimes 10 hours. We cover all the crap. Yeah. And so I've cross-referenced, and cross-checked, and stuff like that. And it's just basic stuff. Just, you know, little this, little that. You have to learn the bones. You know, you have to learn the muscles, right? And then you just have to learn how the systems, how they're interconnected. I've said this before a few times already in the schools. The highest level, when you develop this word called perspicacity, is when you have really good judgment, you know how everything's interconnected. And everything's interdependent. And everything's interspersed, interlaced, intertwined onto each other.
So every move changes.
What?
And how every move will change the
We'll change something else. And that's where the intelligence comes in. Now, when you guys are teaching, you're constantly reading the student. How well are they processing this information? And a lot of times the teachers are really not. The student doesn't care about the knowledge. The wife wants somebody to pay attention.
Yeah, I think that's true. But where we teach, we don't get so much of that. But that is very true.
And sometimes you're pop psychiatrists. Yeah. Okay. Right. You got to know how to deal with that too. Sure. Right. Now, if you're dealing with Oriental girls, young Oriental girls, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, they all fall in love with teachers. Yeah. Okay? If you're out on the West Coast, all these teachers sleep with all the young girls, even the wives. The wife, it's the most amazing thing. The Oriental women literally honor the teacher like you cannot believe. Right?
That young girl was teaching.
That is part of the culture. It's unbelievable.
It's
The
just-
sensei, they call it the sensei.
Yeah.
Right? I know friends of mine, I know 7 guys married the girls. I married their students. I know at least 7 guys, right?
Mark, have you ever had a good doctor, a good player, doctor come to the school?
We got everybody.
Well, they probably have a...
No, the point is, they appreciate this because we speak their language.
Yeah, so
That's
they,
it, right?
do they click faster than we do?
They get it. Right away.
Now we were talking, we have a brother who is a great player, and he's a doctor. He went to
Right.
it, and he been talking to them and said, well, the teachers don't know the anatomy of it, and the ear and everything. There's the guy I call about the ear, and I said, wow.
Listen. If there's ever a time to be on the planet Earth, if there's ever a time to be here on this Earth, is now. Because it's on the internet, it's in all the books. It's all out there. I don't want to hear about laziness. I don't want to talk about I'm a victim. I don't want to hear about that. We all have our problems, okay? But that knowledge is there. You just got to get access, and it's at your fingertips now. I want to make sure when this more of that stuff comes out a couple years from now, it's going to go on the internet, and it's going to be free for all the kids all over the world. They're going to get all of it downloaded right down there, okay? And if people want to pay for it, okay, pay for it. If you don't want to pay for it, don't pay for it. That's it, okay? So some poor kid in South America get access to the information. He's going to learn how to teach himself, all right? Won't cost him a dime. So he's going to be somewhere on some Fiji Islands, some other place. Now, BJ stayed honest, really good guy, one of the great stories ever. BJ is not a good guy. You heard that straight from me. Now, I've said before, a few times, that as a rule, I like BJ. Have I said it before? Right? I don't like BJ anymore. BJ is blasting me now. Now, that's not right. I haven't done anything wrong to BJ, right? He's gone and told guys, yeah, that stuff on Mac, I already knew all that stuff, right? That's not right. Because we never done any articles about him, we never taken advantage of the guy, right? You know, not just that. Listen, if somebody doesn't like me, that's one thing. I can accept that, you know. But the point is that when people go in there and you do your best, you stay in the background, you're being honest, you're doing things for the right reasons, and they're still freaking kicking you, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. Right? And so those guys, you know, guys act the way. I don't have a revenge thing in my personality. I don't have sex. I don't have. But if I don't If I have a problem with somebody, I just don't talk to them. Just ignore them. You know the worst thing you can do to somebody? Ignore them. Just ignore them. Just never recognize them. Harold Henning told me about Gary Player. That Gary Player was supposed to sign a contract with Ben Hogan. Hogan went to New York, ready to sign him. He was like 19, 20 years old, ready to sign the contract. Gary Player got out the contract, and the airplane signed a contract with Shakespeare. He told Hogan he wasn't going to sign him. Hogan never talked to him ever again. Harold Henning told me to his dying day, the reason why Hogan would not go back to the match tournament with Gary Player at the tournament dinner party, Hogan never wanted to see him. The player will tell you to his day to day, it's the worst thing in the world that Hogan would never even recognize, never even acknowledge. Right? What? So, and you have to have principles. You know, when people start crossing lines, you got to just say, hey, no, you're not accepting that. Let's tell a story about Chip Beck. Chip Beck in '86 started saying to the media that Raymond Floyd's dad was responsible for all the changes for his golf swing. He didn't do it once, didn't do it twice, did it a couple dozen times. After a dozen times, I said, no more. Finally, I said to him, I said, here's the deal, you can say anything you want. I'll give you a goddamn check for all the money for the last 3 years I spent. Give me a check, you owe me 200 grand for every hour and everything else. Pay me the money, give me the check, you say anything you want. Did I get the check? Yes or no? Sure about that? He's a Christian. No. He's an honest guy, right? Did I get the money? No, I didn't get it. So what's look at this stuff about I believe in God, and I believe in the Ten Commandments, and I believe there's right. He said it not once, twice. Raymond Floyd. Then Raymond Floyd went in the U.S. Open in Shinnecock and said, my dad teaches Chip Beck. That's why Chip finished second. Chip came in and said, yeah, that's right, that's true. Absolute lie. You know? And then he did the next week, and the next week. Then he started winning tournaments saying the same stuff again. What the hell are you? Right? But you know, pro pros, they can do anything they want. They say, they make the money, that's why I won't teach these guys. Won't do it. Okay, end of story here, all right? So we're going to make a little correction here. Make a little correction here in the grid. Put those hands a little tighter together, all right? See that little releasey right there at the bottom there? All right? See where the elbows come in here? All right? That's got to be there, but this has to stay more bent to the release. Unless you're trying to hit some hookies. Now, if you're trying to play a draw, that's okay, right? All right? The body looks really nice there. It looks really good. Nice. I start getting up. You got to get these hips level to the ground. That right heel staying down, which is very nice. Okay. Now, see how this? See in the knee here. See how much it's trailing the hip. This is curving like this. See that? You want to try to get that right knee a straight vertical line like here with C, right? Right. Now you got the flexibility there. Flexibility is in there, right? Okay. All right. Let's go down the line here. Okay. All right. Now. These hands should be another 4 inches inward or this way. Okay? Right? I'm trying to see here that the shaft points at the line that the golf ball is on, at the baseline there. See how high this shaft is going through the right humerus? Taking it back, taking it back, taking it back. See, now you got the shaft going down vertically here. Right? These are usually flexibility issues. Right? You want to try to get that shaft staying and tracing that line. But that elbow, look how far that elbow's back behind like this now. See? The separation like this. It's not there. The extension, right?
That could be because he's bending this one, so.
The more this elbow bends right here like this is because the elbow is not straight enough. If this is straighter, that brings this arm, if that right elbow was straighter and this elbow was straight, that butt of the club would be right here. That would bring this in a straight line, from the shoulder to the elbow to a straight line, right here. That would lower that back on down. So he's right here like this, that would bring that down to there. Okay? And then watch, if it goes right, it's not going up anymore. Okay? So now right here, you can only turn so much. Once you turn, the way the anatomy works, you take your left arm and go like this. You do this right here. Okay? Keep this at right angles like this now. Move this straight across here like this. You only move 45 degrees. You bend the elbow. Okay? You can only move 45 degrees. If you stand against the wall like this, here, move this over here. Come here, try this. 45 degrees. Head against the wall. Arm straight out. straight out, that's a 90 degree angle. Like this, and I'm ready to crochet problem. See? Here's your 45 degree angle. Don't move anymore. Not bend at the waist, bend at the waist. Okay. So if you keep your shoulder here, like this, on the very back, if you move that to there, it won't move anymore. So the only way this is right now, keep this 45 degrees. Now turn your shoulders 90 degrees. Turn. 90 degrees right here. Here's your left arm. Like that. Okay. You gotta try to keep this left arm 45 degrees to your chest. Put your right hand over here. Like that. Okay. See the spacing? Okay. If you have the right amount of flexion, the right spacing, this will keep this 45 degrees away from you. The goose is going to go in. Take your elbow and move it back over there. He's going to go like this and then like that. That's what he's doing right now. That's right. This is perfect like this. Straighten the elbow out. Look how it pushes it back over like this. So you got, here's your 45 degree. You have this, a left arm in 45 degrees here, right? This is to the plane knife like this. So let's say your stance is square. It's 45 degrees in, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Then it's 45 degrees go to the chest.
Yes.
Right? Then you got another angle. You're trying to keep this at 40 degree angle, shoulder plane. Then the hips have to go 40, 45. So you got like 5, 40 degree angles. Do it again. You got your hip rotation. Okay, give me the shoulder another part.
I got 45 here,
Inside, right?
45
to there.
40
Or 40
here.
Okay. And the last one is you have the club shaft with the driver. I'm going to write this out. Okay. You got the driver at a 40 to 45 degree to the horizontal.
Oh, to the horizontal plane.
Not below the horizontal plane,
No.
above the horizontal plane. You got it? So at P3 with the driver,
So the only one plane.
you what? Sorry. You get at P3 here, it's parallel to the ground,
Yes.
with the driver. You have 5, 40 degree, or 45 degree angle. Shaft, club shaft plane, shoulder plane. Got it? Left arm to the chest, left arm to the plane line, and the hip.
What about this angle?
No, that's 90 degree. Right. But actually, when it's go to P3, this is actually at 110 degree angle. Then when you go P3 up to P4, this is going to flex. This is 90 degrees now. This is going to flex 20 more degrees without changing this angle. Got it? And that brings the left arm up now to the chest. Okay? Where it's parallel. Okay. So it's just a matter of knowing this joint, that joint, over here. This is what Hogan did. This is what Steve did. This is what this guy did. This is what that guy did. And knowing that this joint, that joint, this is going in, and just knowing it's just barcoding.
Yeah. So you want to keep that left arm at 45 to the angle to the shoulders, the backswing.
And like this, which go up.
Yeah.
Why? Because then when you start coming down P4 to P5, it's easier to get this back up. Get the other, got it? This starts going like too much like this, it gets problems. And then you can go CF, you're okay, you get away with going like that. See? It's just a matter of familiarizing yourself with the alignments. So I'm going to write this out about these angles. Oh, okay, left arm straight up. Natural. See, going here like this. Okay. Back. Yeah, right here like this. Yeah, right. Chin up. Head down. Head back. Head back. Like this. And fall. Keep that down there like this. Ready? Okay, now move it in. Just move the arm in. Cut it. Kick straight. You only move the 45 degrees. Okay. Now you bend the waist. Bend the waist. Like this. Okay. Okay. Take the left arm off. I mean the right arm. Like this. Bend the waist. Okay. Now turn your shoulders 90 degrees. You turn. Shoulder.
With the hips, listen.
This is number 10. So he's trying to pull his arms to get right. It's going like this. It won't move.
No.
So the thing is, that's where the hips, you have to have, where it won't move. Now if you take this, now if I just move this, it won't go anymore.
No.
So if I keep that right there, and watch. Now if I turn my hips 45 degrees, now look where I am. See? So the way it works, it goes like this. You stand right here, the hips don't rotate. Go like here. That's it. Now you move this 45 degrees. Boom. Now move the shoulders 90. So the first move in the downswing, your hips and shoulders are both coiled. First move in the downswing is the hips open up, right? They uncoil. My shoulders opened up, but my shoulders did not uncoil. They opened up because the hips brought them out. My shoulders are still coiled now. See that? Now I straighten out my right elbow, now my shoulders are. Just move the shoulder blade. That's what's needed right in front. Then everybody goes together. So this is square. They're standing here like this. Right here, bang, bang. That's as far as it goes. Here, there's 45. Move that without turning this. Now turn this. Let's say the shoulders are 45 degrees here like this. Now move this 45, which moves the shoulders 90. So the first move in the downswing is to transfer the weight, uncoil the hips, transfer your COGs, get this to square up at P5. Bang. P5 to P6, now the right elbow straightens out. Now it uncoils the shoulders, move the shoulders around like this. Now the hands are back in front of the body. Here. Now everybody goes together. The wrist goes, and then the hips, shoulders, arms, hands, everybody goes. Just release your pelvis and shift your spine. Knees together. That's what Hogan does. That's what Steve does. It's picture show. Absolutely. Those are the Steve mechanics.
Maxon, is one of the main differences between CF versus CP the amount that the shoulders are uncoiled at P5?
The thing is, you're P5 is still the same. Because you're going to go like this, P4, well, sorry. You can bring out here, as you bring your left arm out here to P5 like this, the shoulders, and for CF, you're going to bring it out almost 95 the same distance. If you're going to go CP, you're going to bring that left shoulder's got to stay down to the left arm, it's parallel there. You're going to go CF 5 degrees out to the right or 10 degrees. Instead of bringing it all the way to there, the shoulders will come here and crawl and come stop right there. Your left arm's 5. Instead of, this is CF, that's CP. So the right shoulder, you stand here like this, point your finger there, half inch away. Okay. If I go CP, I'm going to go all the way to the top, uncoil my hips, now my right elbow straightens out, it uncoils and comes down like here. Okay, that's what you see. I'll go CF 10 degrees up to the right, I'll go like this. To the top, P4 to P5, P5 to P6. 2 to 3 inches away. And then that'll bring it, throw it off like that. Slide it aside. So the CP and CF are almost identical if you're going to shift from 5 or 10 degrees up to the right. The only difference is the right shoulder comes out 90% out, doesn't come all the way.
What about the baseline? The C
It stays the same. The only difference is on the downswing, your left arm's going to be a little bit inside. Your club's going to come a little bit more inside. This way, inside line one on the downswing and out line on the phone.
So the backswing for the CP and
CF is
CF
almost the same. That's true.
is the first movement.
Now, how much you uncoil the shoulders or the hips are fine. Your left arm here, that's CF. CP is going to bring it all the way up to there. Comes like here, another shaft, like up here, and then release it. It's going to go right back. Right? Go back up again. You're going to go CF. You're going to bring this out, up, to about right there. Then this starts to come up straight the elbow, and go to shaft on the inside here. Not even 5 degrees this way, and everything goes 5 degrees out.
So when you measure your left arm in degrees, how far it comes out?
Yes.
CP or CF?
Yeah, that's it. Now the question is, now what brings what? What brings the arm out, P4 to P5? First of all, your hips are going to bring it out like this. See this elbow? If I keep it back here, that's where Lewis is, just keep it. All right? And I just keep it there because it stays back. So what happens is the elbow, not only, this is the deltoid, it's got to bring it back into this one. All right? It's completely independent. So it's got to come out this way. The pivot will help it somewhat coming like this. Help it a little bit. And then the elbow's got to get back in that position. It's got to get back in.
That's the difference between the CP and CF.
You've got to get it back in.
Yeah, the CP, because it's more, it will bring
You go
more.
back, and now some guys go like this, the elbow stays there, they tip the shaft. Okay? Because the elbow just stays there, and they go like this, and the shaft comes down vertical. That's the problem. That elbow, so Kelly, that's why Kelly called the right elbow #1 power equipment. He said that the right elbow is the #1 responsibility. Well, guess what? In Search for the Perfect Swing, he took it out of there, that chapter, I think it's chapter 8, how the right arm straightens the offswing. Kelly's book was published in '69. Search for the Perfect Swing was published in '68. Kelly didn't get it. The pictures in Kelly's book, the wrist motions right here, 4DO, in here, 4DO. You go back and look right here, these pictures right here are exactly the same pictures they have in the Search for the Perfect Swing. There's no citations. It's exact same pictures. Kelly doesn't explain. he explains how the hands are turning and rotating, but he doesn't use the anatomical terms. Right? Here, this is uncocked, this is cocked, this is rotated. It doesn't use the anatomical terms. And then sometimes he'll use the anatomical terms in here when he's talking about right here, triceps, deltoids, pectorals, biceps, stuff like that. But it doesn't explain how the wrist angles are. It didn't explain that. So a lot of this basic anatomy stuff is, in here like this is going this way, going bent ways. Okay, now just turn this 45 degrees. There you are at 90. You got to go here like this. So now some guys go like this. The left arm's in here at 45 degrees. If I bring my left shoulder up like this right away, and I bring my hand straight vertical, like here, now my shaft's 45 degrees in here like this. That's such a proportion to a 45 degrees. Yeah. So if you flatten out your shoulder plane, now if you drive your right shoulder straight vertical to get down to the plane, because the plane's like this, go straight vertical, now you're 45 degrees in, turn straight out like that, there's Mark around. So you guys go try to flatten the shoulder planes out, guys go over here like this, throws it straight off to the right. That's what Chip was doing with the Haney. Haney was teaching my poking ball. Chip used to get over here, turning his shoulder plane, beautiful, open up, come across like this, hit these most beautiful sneaky cuts you've ever seen. So he wanted to learn how to hook the ball, so he went to Haney, so he could win at Augusta. Chip hooked himself right into oblivion, right? Because the first thing he started flattening, Haney had Chip flattening on the shoulder plane. And Chip would come in here like this, and the hands would go just like that. He said these big 40-yard hooks on him, just got the block, and it's straight at it.
Robert, you know Mark Amino's nickname in Europe?
Pardon?
You know Mark Amino's nickname in Europe?
No.
Market Nero.
Mark what?
Market Nero.
No, because in Europe, he marked him. There's
There's a horrific story with him. They got him on tape.
No, they call him fudge the coins and they're all over there.
Yeah, double sign on.
Right. This guy's no angel. I mean, I could. It's funny, you mentioned one guy's name, I can tell 10 stories.
Yeah, one of 4-inch pop. 4-inch pop.
I don't. Hey, O'Mara,
Fell into a hole and he went.
listen, O'Mara turned around and told me in 1989 that I should not be teaching any players on tour because I'm taking business away from Hank Haney. Then he got mad at me because I didn't buy the diamonds and cars and the houses for my wife. I actually told it to my face. Who are these people? Who are these people?
He told you that you cannot teach?
He told me I cannot teach anybody on tour because I'm taking business away from him. He said it.
He's not in America, is he?
I mean, who are these guys? They have jewelry and diamonds and houses and cars and everything else. Who are these people? Don't worry, he's gonna read about himself one day. Who are these people? Don't you think Grant Waite's such a little honest, sweetheart little? He's got a lot of this stuff with him said one. That's why I didn't want to go back. Okay, now, here we go. See this inside out move going over here like this, is like this. Okay, right? If you're going to do the CF, see this, these pressure points being lost? The elbows back over here, the elbows just go straight like this. There's just massive CF out to the right. Look at the shafts over by the ear here. See this here? Okay. Now it's starting to come around over here like that. Right? This shifted and went that way. Okay. Now, if you guys go like this and they don't have the flexibility, the shoulders flatten out, they're going to drive it under here and drive it, and it's going to throw it straight out like that. That's a natural reaction. So one of the ways you go to CPs, you've got to get the shoulder down. You can't go CP, flatten this out, and try to go around that way. That's a major reround. You can't do it. It's too hard. It's too different. So it depends on the flexibility. Some people don't have the flexibility to move this guy and go like this.
No, they cannot swing.
See? No. See? So there's your CF stuff.
But when they're teaching and they see a student that doesn't have the flexibility, don't waste your time CP.
See, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
CP is very hard.
CP, you have to have an athlete for it.
Well, you can do it. You can do it. I've got older people still get over here like this and turn them down. They can do it. So some of the flexibility drills you can do is that you if you have the person spin his weights, put your hand down here like this, here, and then literally go ahead and drop that, put your right arm straight up here like this. Here, start stretching some of this stuff out. That's all. Okay. And if you stretch out like this, and you set the pressure and start pushing this one. Feel stretch? Yes? What?
Good stretch.
And like this. This gets closed, this gets pushed down. That's why it's down like this. Okay. And keep the alternation with it. Just get over here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you. Now, we did this, show this, I think it was in Las Vegas or something. We're on the back. We did that with you guys?
No.
Watch this. Now, Bob, be careful of my right elbow. Somebody like this. Okay. So
Thai massage.
Do that with Luis.
Now you'd want with us a massage in Thailand.
I wouldn't video it.
Head back.
Blackmail you.
5, 4, 3. If you draw this angle as such, we're going to go like here. Let's see how much this is rotating here. We have the right angles. Ready? All right. Okay. And how much is that missing? How many degrees?
The rotation,
No, the shoulder blade.
he has to come up.
How much more does the left shoulder have to go down?
About 20 degrees.
What?
30 degrees.
30?
Something? Okay. All right. So that left shoulder's got to go down, and that right elbow's got to go straighter. So left shoulder goes down, let's say 20 degrees, okay? And that right elbow is, let's say at P3, it's 110 degree angle, right? That would look like this. He's here like this. This has to come down. There. This has to go like that. There we go.
Okay, far weight,
This left arm right here is at P3. Hands are going up higher here because the elbows are down. So if this elbow straightens out, best as you can to straighten that out, the left arm, it would bring that back right down to right there. Then you just got to drop that down 20 degrees.
So it would be P3?
Yeah, it'd be right at P3.
P3, yeah.
Right. Now, when someone's as big as he is, he's just going to go to P3 and right back on down. He doesn't have to go all the way back. Tommy Armour goes like this, here, and right down there. The only reason why I worked with Tommy Armour in 1997, because I never worked with somebody who had that short of a swing and with that weak of a grip. There were 3 things I wanted to learn from Tommy. One was about the grip. The second thing I wanted to learn about was that short of a swing. It was more CF or CP. And the third thing was I wanted to learn about his entourage. The entourage. That is a whole phenomenon on itself. Okay, let's close this up here. Okay, so this come down, the hips gotta keep squaring up. They are shaft. Look how high the shaft is. The shaft's gotta start coming down. Okay, all right, there it is on the inside here. Shaft lined over here. Shoulders parallel the same line there. Coming down through impact. Look at this. Look at the shaft. It's almost on the exact same line. The shaft was over here for the left arm. Where the left arm was P5 was on that line. P6 is on this line. There, that shaft's on the exact same straight line. So the lines we drew here last night, he at P6 and over here at P8 were the exact same line, straight line.
So classic CF.
You got it. And you can play good. That's Roberts. You can play good golf. Just have to know what sequence. But you got to straighten those elbows out. You can play CF like that perfectly and still play wonderful golf.
But you will tender to draw the ball most of the time?
If he opens the face up in the backswing, and he releases it, releases it open, and tries to hold on like that, the elbow will get a little bit better inside. He'll just be able to stay a little bit ahead of him. He's got that elbow coming like here, and it's going that hard. So he's got to learn to keep those pressure points, lose those pressure points, otherwise it feels over. Okay? So this goes here, get the shaft above and the follow. Okay? And you can do that. And now see that that's a CP type of finish. CF finish will go like this. Here, this points straight along the line. CF. CP finish is going like here. Target straight ahead like this. Say the target straight ahead. You're going to finish left of the target like here. Hips and chest over here. Left of the CP. This bone, knee to the ankle like this, right? You're going to go CF here like this off to the right, along the same line. You go CP, goes like this, you see it's lined up left and right. That's what allows it. Now heels down, see how the hips, everything's left of the target, like here. CF would be that.
Also, the right leg also points toward.
Have it all on the checklist, I'll show you. David Graham would go like this. Classic CF. Straight line, just like this. Can you play that way?
Of course.
Absolutely. You just have to know the sequence over to it. That's a certain model. That's those guys. David was a little bit more inside out. So he'd go in line 2, out line 2. That's another model. And that's all the guys learn.
002.
No, that's good. So just gotta get that one half. You gotta learn how to sequence the one time. You just gotta roughly have a little hooks or a little fades. I'll change it. Okay? The thing is, you have to learn both models, CP and CP.
You should be able, a player should be able to, because you need a high shot with the 2 iron and
Change them. You gotta do them both.
Yeah.
You have to learn.
you need to knock it
Now,
down.
high handicappers, you're gonna, depending on the flexibility and stuff like that, you can get the shoulder pads. I've done that. I've done with 70, 80 years old people.
So Tiger says he's getting ready for the Masters or something. He's going to be working on all these things to get his ball flight a certain trajectory for those goals. Would that be?
If Tiger, if he sat in this thing for 3 days, and then you leave him alone, he'll get this stuff like this. Right? He's a smart kid. But, okay, we'll finish up this tape here. Brendan, what's with the next tape? See how far that is? Your brother's hands are right here. Okay? So when this left arm is perfectly straight and that elbow is 6 to 7 inches away and the right elbow is at 90 degrees, this is flat. Here's your club shaft plane line. Got shoulder plane, arm plane, club shaft plane lined up. The shoulder plane's got to be down. It's got to go down more. 15 degrees or so, right? Okay. This looks really good. Left arm straight. The flexion of the elbow looks good. Position of the elbow looks good. Might be just a little bit more this way, right? And you got your left wrist flat. Shaft planes lined up right next to it. Right?
Hip turn.
Yeah, hip turn. See the hip turn. See, with the right, when you're really relaxed, the right elbow's got to be positioned just. it's like jumbo. Jumbo goes like this. See this? Look at this. Jumbo will stand. He gets hands in his pockets like this. All right, now. But see, this elbow right here, this is too low. This is low. This got to get up a little higher, right? Got to get this left arm up, at least to the top of the shoulder plane over here like this. Hands are outside, looks nice, but this is too low. This has to go up another, let's say 3 inches, 4 inches. Yeah. See how low this is here? See how low the left elbow? Okay. Do I have a black pen there? Black pen? I think I might have left it. That elbow is down there a little bit too low. It's got to get up. It's almost on the same line as the left elbow like that. See that right there?
You do want those elbows level.
Pretty level. Pretty level. And if it gets too low like this, you got to run into some problems here. Okay? This has to get over here like this. Like that. Okay?
And once again, that's from the right elbow.
Right elbow.
Extend it out.
That's it. The plane of the left arm basically is controlled by the right elbow. It's controlled by the flexion. If it goes here, the left arm will come up through the flexion of the right elbow. And then the separation of the elements. Right? Now, the left elbow, the plane of the left arm also is being controlled by the plane of the shoulders.
If he gets more this, he will lift it.
If this goes down 20 more degrees, that'll change the left arm plane, move it over here like that, higher. But see, but then the elbow, it's still going to be, it goes, see this is right here like this? It's like this. Got it?
Yeah.
Got it? Watch. I go to the left shoulder, now look with the right elbow to the left, level to the ground. See it? Okay. I see, put like here, now it's like that. See the shoulder blade? You gotta watch. If I move that down like this, kind of like this. So you gotta know how little this, little that. And it's just a matter of just familiarizing yourself with the material. So that's what I'm saying. Just basically, the left arm plane is controlled by that elbow. But if you take that shoulder plane, move that down here like this, it's going to raise that elbow up. It's like, you know, pretty much going to close to level it out. Right? Then it still has to get up a few more inches away. Remember, these are just approximations we're getting at. But it's just a matter of just knowing a little bit more, a little bit, right? Now, you got the space in your right knee, that looks good, right? If you look at the orange book, the Ventura analysis, look at Gene Littler and show these guys 90 walk-ins. If you look at the index at the beginning where the pictures are, right? So it's just, you know, just gotta just keep knowing how to get some of these angles, right? Move the eye line, right? Move the voice stretch over here like this. Move the CFDs, right? Now, if you're going CF out to the right, can you do that right there? The shoulder plane like that, left arm in there, and then the top of the backswing come down? Perfect for CF. If it's going like this, just go like this. Here, and like that. You already yesterday? Go like this.
Yeah.
It's okay for CF. You go here like this, you go over here like this. The only problem with it, it's okay to start with hitting the shoulder plane flat now. But you don't want to get your CLGs bending over here, because then you come back over here, you can't get, you know, you can't get all the way up to the ball if you go like this. So you got to make sure that if you go on CF, you still got to make sure that your CLGs are in the center like this. Then you come down here at P5, there at P6, your weight's left, easy right there. If you start going right, you got. It's amazing. Everybody's bought into that. Who's the first guy ever say you got to go right? Who's the first guy ever? Ballard. You got it. Absolutely. Jimmy Ballard, 1990, I called him on the phone. I said, listen, Ledbetter's book's coming out. I said, Ledbetter's going to go and talk about the link positions and everything else, because we've had the 10 positions. So Ledbetter's going to go into the links. Ledbetter doesn't teach about links. He doesn't teach about this. So I talked to Jimmy. I said, listen, in part of our research, we know who said what. Ballard was the first guy talking about athletic stuff, athletic positions, tail weight on the dog weight on the tail, stuff like that. Ledbetter took all that stuff, took our stuff also, right? Even the swings of me in that Golf Digest pictures, you look at Ledbetter's book, they took David Frost, put his head on my body. They did the exact same alignments in the Golf Digest with me in his book. In his book with David Frost. Spooky, think about this. Ledbetter puts out a book about Nick Fowler. Nick Fowler writes the foreword for Ledbetter's book, and they got pictures of David Frost. What? What? You get this? What did I say? He writes a book about, they call it for Fowler,
And then he's not the model.
they got David Frost in there. Then he changed, first Ledbetter put his picture on the cover, and people said, who's Ledbetter? They know who Ledbetter was, basically. Then they put the picture of Faldo on it, but it has then it has David Frost inside of it. And it has David Frost, it's my body. All my alignments are exactly the same, going there like this. David Frost didn't swim that way. David Frost, hands finish. I know, because I taught David Frost. I taught David Frost 84, 85, 86, 87, 88. I taught Nick Price 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88. and Dennis Watson. Then they all got booted because Ledbetter started doing articles on all our stuff. So Ledbetter changes all his language to the exact same stuff we were teaching. Gee, that was nice. And then he publishes all the material. And then he puts Ledbetter and Percy Bloomer, the guy that wrote the book, John Huggins, did all that stuff, put it all together. Then Gary McCord writes a book on all our stuff also with the same author, John Huggins, for David Ledbetter. McCord didn't have permission to do that. McCord puts stuff in there, absolute lies. And it's one thing after another. I should be the guy with the AK-47 rifle and go in there and start blowing these people away. But, you know, I don't believe in it. What do you do with these people? I don't understand. But that's what. And then Faldo puts out a book in Europe. Because you know why Faldo did that? Because Faldo was doing a book in Europe called When He Golf. So then Ledbetter writes the forward on that, then has Faldo's photographs. But why did Ledbetter put David Frost pictures in the book when the book is supposed to be about Faldo? It's crazy. It's just marketing, you know. It's just any way to milk the public, any way.
And the position, the P1, P2, they got that one.
They went to the link positions. Oh, he did almost all of them. All right. And I actually called Ledbetter. I said, "What are you doing?" I actually called him. And I said, "Look," I said, "you know, you're talking to me now. You're not talking to these other guys." And he says, "Hey, listen, I've been teaching this link stuff all this." You haven't done that. You don't teach about that. What he wanted to do is that he wanted to show that they had an organized, systematic way to do it. He doesn't teach that. You guys take a lesson of he's going to talk about links that he ain't talking about that stuff. They're just, you know, they're charlatans. All right? They're knaves. K-N-A-V-E-S. Go ahead. Get your dictionary out. Look at the word. He's a knave. K-N-A-V-E-S. Right? So I told Ballard, I said, listen, we'll take care of it. At the right time, I said, I'll give you the credits, the evolution, all that stuff at the right time. That was it. That was it. And we've had about 5 guys go to Jimmy Ballard's school, went through these schools. You know, they came back and told me, Jimmy Ballard said, listen, every time Mac O'Grady runs out of ideas, he calls me to get ideas from me so I can help him.
You said that in the school?
Yeah. Does that to all the teachers. So, you know, hey, I'll take care of these guys. You know how to take care of these guys? I don't have to. Mr. Science will take care of them. Because in the future, if they don't know the science stuff, these guys are all they're out here. Right? Then you get the scientific community, that's going to be very nice. Very, very nice. Right? So if somebody asks an objective question, I'll get an objective answer based on objective research. I didn't do research to think about it. I'm just following these guys' rules. I'm just trying to take the guys that don't know science, know golf, the guys that don't know golf, know the science, and mix them together. So it's going to be nice. So my deal is I won't turn my back on the little poor guy down the street with the par 3 golf course ain't got money to come in here. We let guys come in and get the money. They got the money, we let them. I do. And I do a dozen schools a year and I don't charge anybody. These are all the poor guys all over freaking LA and San Diego. I go out there. I do it. I enjoy it. Absolutely. There's nothing worse when people ain't got the money and they have desire, they want to learn, but they can't get access to it. And the things, then you do spend the money, then you got to come in there and you can't talk objectively. Hey, I like when guys start challenging things. This, that. Try to explain it. You know how much information there is here? If you try to fake this stuff, you can't fake all this stuff. You better know how it really works. It's been in the thing for, how many schools you went to? 10? 12?
Please, 10,
What?
10 or 12.
Okay, right? You can't fake this stuff. Can't fake it. Takes a while. So check the grip pressure. I'm just barcoding everything, right? Okay, I'm going to go just regular speed here, and you guys just look at the motion and you tell me if this looks a little more CP-ish or CF-ish. CF-ish is going like here. CP is coming here, a little bit up on this regular speed.
Yeah.
Little CF, right? Okay. We should have a little in P2 there, P3, okay? Now, as this goes up higher here, you got to make sure that if that elbow stays down, the elbow starts flexing too much, hands get too close, you got some problems here. Now, the left arm gets too close to the chest. Bobby clamp it off machine, clamp it at his left arm like this. And when he came down more CF-ish, like you cannot believe. And everything in the book he's supposed to be doing is supposed to be swinging. Swinging is all snap loading and going this way, back up the plane. These guys should, he's going this way, not straight like that, like David Raymond. Yep. So here, this has to separate here. Now, if you're going to go CF, it's okay to go out to the right. You can keep that down here, go like that. You still don't want to overflex the right elbow too much. Okay? Right? Now, pretty good alignments, right? Shoulders down just a little bit more. The knees, everything looks good here. Now, if you're going to go CF out to the right, this is perfect. This is really good. Watch the left arm will be in here at P5. Okay? Go back one frame. Right here. Okay? So you got stance closed, knees, hips, left arm, you know, kind of everything's lined up to the right here a little bit. Bring it down here, down to T6. Watch the shaft come down the right heel marks. Okay, here it is. See. Now, we're going to miss it, but if you brought this down a little bit more, it's going to come underneath here. It's like, be right in here like this. This is where Torino is. Is this shaft is brought right there? It's parallel to the shoulder.
Shaft is on the
Okay.
arm.
So we're going to miss it here. Bang. Okay. See that club head go off to the right? Right?
Holding too much angle, huh?
What?
Holding too much the ankle?
Yeah, exactly. Went out to the right like this. His hands almost look like they almost go in CP-ish. Like this, you see. Right? So a little bit more down the line off to the right. Right? Shaft over here. Pass from the top over here like this. Okay. All right, let's check it out from the caddy view. Do we take the first picture from the caddy view or down below? Go ahead.
First, I mean, you can go back.
Go ahead. Keep going, rewind. In the book, it's called impact freeze. You know, just move the hips over here like this, and the rest. Now just rotate the hips from that point, go like that. You no longer have to go like that. Just stay with it. And then get the leg. Gotta 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 get the leg. Okay. Okay. But those leg characteristics are one of the most important things, especially with high handicappers. How do you get people that really throw the club? How do you correct them? I wish we had somebody in this class who really had that problem. Dr. Ramirez had that problem. Really true, really bad. Okay, now watch this. Now, the one angle you always look for is this right femur, right here. Let's get it darker. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Watch how this changes. That femur. Can you see that? Good. Now watch. If I sit here and I'm looking at that femur. No, take that. Don't be afraid, there's no monsters in the fairway. Okay? Watch the femur. Watch the femur, watch the femur. See it change? See the angle of the femur change? You see it? See it? So that will tell you where the COGs are going. Look how much the angle changed. Okay? On those pictures yesterday with the shaft on the ground, you see right away, does the femur change? Does that angle sit up like this? Guys go like this. Because the thing is, if you have your feet close together like this, femur is everything straight. start widening your stance little by little, start changing the femur angle. Thing is, if you have your stance 18 inches apart, there's a certain angle here, that's vertical here, start moving that out, there, now, you gotta start sliding going like this, now it's vertical again. You start rotating around the point, and start increasing going the other
So
direction.
you think 18 inches is optimal for all clubs?
What's that?
18 inches?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, now it has a little to do with the width of the person's shoulders, but pretty much, yeah. Okay? But look how that changed. See? Now, on the downswing, I want you to pull. See? Now, here you got the problem. You got the leg issue. Watch this one more friend. The leg issue. That problem is, the shaft didn't drop. Okay? You get that shaft drops properly, the angle, your left arm will be right over here. You'll be at release point 3A in the downswing, or 3C.
A, B, C. A inside, B interesting.
The backswing, this is A, B, C. On the downswing, it'd be A, B, C, the other reverses. You got it. If you drop that shaft, you'll see that shaft will come down there. You find out whether or not.
The vertical drop, huh? Like the saying there.
The elbow doesn't go this way. It goes up this way. It drops. Not right now. That's where the plane is. When the elbow went up that way, it's got to come back down this way. If it goes straight vertical, now you go and CF. Left arm's in. You got problems. And especially the right shoulder comes straight down this, you've got problems. In Kelly's book, the golf machine, Kelly talks, if you go to 10, 13, okay? Either, actually, no. Here's 1013C. See how this is rotated? 1013, this is the dual application of the B flat action below, and on plane B downstroke shoulder. Okay? Here's D, we're still talking about the right shoulder going straight down. Here's broad. See this right here shows this angle here? Look at this. See what it says shoulder turn? No, it's not shoulder turn, that's a shoulder plane. You made a mistake. You get this? Shoulder turns from this way. This is the
Where you
shoulder
looking at my
plane.
notebook and stuff?
Now, he calls it shoulder turn.
I guess working with.
It's not, it should be the
Kevin,
shoulder
I've got
plane.
Charles, but.
There's the club shaft plane, there's the arm plane, now there's the shoulder, the plane that it's moving. He calls it shoulder turn.
In my opinion, Charles.
So what he's saying here, 1013A, that you have
And to
that
be
flat,
top
backstroke
money
here,
list every
flat,
year,
top of the swing.
ranked.
Then you gotta drive your right shoulder like this, straight vertical, like
Very
this down to the
good
plane.
ranking chipper.
Okay?
Means he gets
That's where
pretty
all
well.
the teachers teach.
You know, and that's where
And he should be teaching 1013C rotating
He
like
actually
this.
turns pretty good.
So this is rotating, so like this is
A
rotating
little
the
bit
same
more
way
right
with
than
it.
you like.
You get it?
Yeah, right the thing here.
Right. See how it?
Yeah, I like it.
Now back here in the stroke patterns he talks about, look what he did with this. This is for
When I
the
watch him hit
hitting
Champions
component.
game, his rhythm.
Gets into the
It's
shoulder.
just so powerful.
You got hip turn, hip back turn, shoulder, right? You got shoulder turn, that should be shoulder point. 1013A standard. This is swinger. 1013A standard. So everybody's going flat shoulder point. So you think everybody's going like this, you gotta go play with flat shoulder point. Because he said, no, it's 1013C. If you're gonna go CF, can you do a flat shoulder point? Yes or no?
Yeah, you
Right.
better.
So if you're doing swinging, that shoulder plane better be 1013C. You get that now?
Yeah.
No?
For CP.
For CP. CF, you can go flat. Okay? What's this?
Yeah.
CF, it's your flat shoulder plane coming inside of that. Perfect. If you're going to CP, the way you better get it right here because you got to open it left. The CF goes like this. Left shoulder goes up right away, brings the left arm in, you go inside out for it. Okay? CP, you gotta go down here like this. Left shoulder, you gotta stay down until you get your left arm out. You gotta get your left arm out. If your left shoulder goes up, like this, the left arm goes in. Okay? You gotta, that's gotta stay down, so go like this. Down to P6. That's how you get back, come around like that. Okay? So here you have a leg issue again, that thing dropping. Okay, now this looks okay there. Okay, now looks good there. Again, the space between the elbows, the wrist, and everything else. Right, left hand looks a little too weakish right there. And the body looks a little Hogan-esque. Right, right. Keep going. Now watch now that the left hip has gone too far out like this. Look how it lost the pressure once the bottom of the foot. The left knee is bent. Okay, right. That's the no-no. Watch, see how bent that stays? Look at that left foot, looks like Johnny Miller going through here, right? And these angles look very nice. Just way too bent. Okay? That's the old drive your knees. You got to drive. Gary McCord was like this with a weak grip. You got to drive your knees, and McCord was back here with a weak grip, right? Like this. Like that.
Why did Miller have to slide his foot? Or at least as severe as he did.
Why did he do that?
Yeah.
He's trying to copy Byron Nelson. He's trying to keep the club down the line as long as possible.
And he had to move out of the way to do that? Or?
Say it again?
So he had to move out of the way to do that?
Well, the thing is, you just keep moving laterally, you keep sliding too far, you're going to lose all this pressure. Miller was like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
John was a CF with a fader.
What's that?
CF fader.
Miller, it's funny, you know, you get guys going over here like this, you see some guys, and they're going left, moving their arms independently. And then some guys go off to the right. And you see these guys, you look at them, sometimes they do CF, sometimes they'll CP, they don't know they're doing it. They don't know. The longer the club is, the more the centrifugal force will pull it out. Shorter the clubs are going all CP. Longer club starts going, what do they say in Star Wars? Let the force be with you. Same thing here. Don't fight the centrifugal wants to pull it out, so we're just going to go with it. Yeah.
Well, generally speaking, what most likely would explain why someone would drop the shaft to 45 degrees, P4 to P5, but then dump it off into P6?
Some people do that. They don't have this. They don't sustain the anatomical chain reaction. They have the sequence order, and they lose it. What does what at the right time? How do the right forces act on the right joints at just the right time? And how is this achieved? Okay. I didn't say that. That's what Mark Brooks said in his book. He talked about the Backswing. He specifically says that. Right? So how does that happen? Right? Well, if you don't have the same chain reaction, the same joints moving the exact same. It's like a flute. You got the pressure points. You got the music, notes, pressures. Right? Pressure's on, pressure's off. How to be able to just do that and keep going. We look at certain swings and say, hey, I like that actually, hey, that looks good. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to go there. Nobody wants to swing like Corey, but everyone wants to swing like Sam Steen and Mickey Wright. Okay? Why is that? But nobody can explain it. Even they did it, couldn't really explain it. Maybe that's the mystery of it all. I mean, maybe that's the beauty of it. Science try to go in and look at the objective. It's amazing.
And Mickey Wright is one of the best.
Very good, up to a certain point. Some things look really good, but stop now. So you got excessive left knee bend. So to change that pressure point, and losing the pressure points over here, arms over.
How do I do that?
What? Yeah, watch, we'll show you how to keep that left foot here like this. This leg has to start to straighten out. On the backswing, it'll straighten out to get the rotation. When you come down here like this, it's flexed. Then there's a point it's going to start going left, and it has to straighten out to keep the rotation going over here. Okay. What Nicklaus and Palmer did here in the Gray book, in this book here, it's very unique to see these guys. What Palmer and Nicklaus did was that, guys, come up here with me. I'm going to show you, y'all can stand right there. Look at his